The story begins with three people shown on a boat who were lost somewhere in the ocean. Actually, they were traveling on a sea ship that was going from Scotland to England. But then it collided with rocks, because of which the entire ship sank into the sea and many people died. But three people survived. All three of them are in a small boat. But they keep moving forward in that boat. There is a huge ocean in front of them. As far as they can see, there's nothing visible. Then the fog in front of them clears away. They see an island. Seeing this island, all three of them become happy. They take their small boat to the edge of the island, and now all three of them are on this island. They can't see anything far around. They realize that they are alone on this island. They will soon die of hunger and thirst. And just then, an old man comes who welcomes all three of them and says, "Come with me to my house." Seeing him, they all become very happy, and now the three of them go to his house. There he gives them food to eat and water to drink. Among these three sailors, one's name is Coasley. He tells that man that their ship was not very far from his house. Then it collided with rocks in the water, because of which it sank. Coasley's shoulder is hurting a lot, because when their ship hit the rocks, his shoulder got injured. The old man notices this. So he tells him, "Come with me. I will take you to Douglas. He will dress your wound." Now all three of them leave with the old man towards Douglas's house. On the way, they see a girl whose behavior is very strange. She is behaving in a very weird manner. But the old man chases the girl away, and now the three of them reach Douglas's house with him. Douglas tells them, "You don't need to worry. Your wound will heal soon. Until then, you can stay here comfortably." The three of them saw almost 40 houses on this entire island, but only 4 people live here. They can't understand where the rest of the people went. So they ask Douglas. Douglas says that a few years ago, this entire island became barren. It was no longer fit to live in. That's why everyone left the island and went somewhere else. And we decided that we would stay on this island. Now at night, when the three of them are sleeping, Coasley's friend Jim hears strange sounds. He tells Coasley and Ferris about it. The three of them become suspicious that something is wrong on this island, because the behavior of the girls here is very different. They behave abnormally. That's why they want to roam around the island and find out the truth. But Douglas stops them from doing so. He says, "If you do this, your life could be in danger. You should stay inside the house, because it gets dark very quickly on the island. What you're thinking isn't true. There's nothing on this island. It's a completely normal island." But they don't listen to Douglas and leave the house. After roaming around the whole island, they realize it's a dead island, because, apart from these 4 people, there are no animals here, not even birds. Also, the island isn't even on the map, which is a very strange thing, because the island is located at a place not very far from the outside world. That is, the city. Now the three of them decide to explore the island separately. They go their separate ways. It gets dark quickly, just as Douglas had said. He had also said that danger increases on this island at night. So Coasley and Jim return home quickly. But their third friend, whose name is Ferris, still hasn't returned home, because it's already dark and he can see very little at night. He is walking alone on the island when he starts hearing strange voices. He realizes that someone is around him, and he gets very scared. He calls out to his friends and starts running away. Meanwhile, at the house, Coasley and Jim are very worried for their friend. They want to go out to search for him, but Douglas forbids them. We are shown Douglas's niece, whose name is Liv. Something starts happening to her, but before they can find out, she leaves. The next morning, they go out to find their friend. They search all around the island, and after a lot of searching, they find him. But he is already dead. It looks like he died from falling from above. Both of them are fully convinced that either something is wrong on this island or with the people living here, especially the girls, because they had seen many changes in their behavior, especially in their expressions and eyes. But for now, they can't do anything because they have no proof. But now both of them want to get off the island as soon as possible. That's why they start investigating more. Coasley finds a diary in Douglas's room that mentions some ships that had come to this island, but all of them were killed. No one could leave from here. Just like their friend Ferris died on this island, they suspect Corrigan killed him. So now they want to leave the island. At night, they leave the house. Their boat is still at the shore. They sit in the boat and leave from there. But as they go some distance away, dense fog surrounds them. The fog is so thick that they can't even see each other properly. Then they hear their friend Ferris screaming. They think their friend is really calling them for help. So they jump into the cold water and go back to the shore. There, once again, they see the same old man who had met them on the island first and had taken them to his house. And now, once again, he brings both of them back to his house. There he tells them, "You are trapped here. If you want to stay alive, You have to do exactly as I say. This island has existed since before the sea existed. A few years ago, many families lived here, and one day, a girl came here. She had golden hair. She was very beautiful. She told her name was Ima. Her nature was very good. Everyone who met her was very happy. But her truth was something else because she was not a human, she was a goddess. After she came to the island, prosperity increased even more. But one day, a man in a drunken state forced himself on her and killed her. Although she was a goddess and could use her powers, she was in human form, so she wasn't allowed to use them. After her death, the bad days of the island began. The crops were destroyed completely. All the females on the island couldn't control themselves. Something used to happen to them at any time. So slowly, they started killing all the men on the island. But 5 of us remained alive so that the curse of the island stays as it is. Any ship that passes near this island automatically sinks. And when the surviving passengers come to the island, they are killed one by one. After hearing the whole truth, both of them get scared. And now Douglas, the doctor, is ready to help them. He wants them to escape and go home. But it's not that easy. At night, Corrigan comes to Coasley. She gives him her locket and says, "Leave this place because if you stay here, you won't survive." Coasley has many questions in his mind, so he follows her. She goes into her room. Coasley is outside. Inside, many changes are happening in Corrigan, and then a gunshot is heard. Everyone runs toward the place from where the gunshot came. They find out that Coasley's friend Jim has been killed by someone. Corrigan is also there. Something starts happening to her. She has no control over her mind or body. This is happening because of the curse of the goddess who came to the island and was assaulted and killed by a man here. And now Corrigan's father ties her to the bed. Actually, he wants Coasley to somehow escape from the island. Eggles and the other man on the island take Coasley to the shore where his boat is. They give him earplugs and say, "Put them in your ears so you can't hear anything." Coasley does so and takes his boat. As he is leaving, he sees 3 girls standing on the mountain. One is Linth, the second is Corrigan, and the third is the same goddess named Ima. Ima is humming a song, and both the girls are accompanying her. Now Coasley can also hear the song. Dense fog starts covering again. He can hear his friends' voices calling him for help. But this isn't the truth. It's an illusion of his mind. And now, when he loses control of his mind, he jumps into the water, which causes his death. After his death, Ima stops singing and disappears from there. Corrigan and the other girl realize that what is happening here is completely wrong. So both of them jump off the cliff, and with their deaths, Ima's powers start fading. In the sea, we see Coasley, who is still alive. Actually, he deliberately jumped into the water because he knew that Ima wouldn't stop singing until he did. If she didn't stop, the 2 girls would remain under her control. So when he jumped into the water, Ima stopped, after which Corrigan and the other girl jumped off the cliff. He sits in his boat and leaves from there. Whether he reached home or not is not told to us. With this scene, the movie and this story end.